Hello there, channel members, friends, and followers from around the world. This is Q8 Pilot, your host for tonight's show. And today we are going to be taking a look at Pointsoft Pro ATC SR, which is an air traffic control add-on for Microsoft Flight Simulator. First, I'd like to welcome all of you to this live stream. Speed check, welcome aboard Boeing Corp, Steph, Badger, and Matthew. Thank you very much, guys, for your continued support and loyalty. Being VVIP members here at the Q8 Pilot channel, I welcome also Adam1740. Welcome aboard, my friend. Simulation Flow, welcome aboard. And Dan86, good evening to you. We have you with us today from Bucharest. Welcome aboard, my friend. Stan, hello, my friend. Greetings to you. Benny, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us on this live stream. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I am also going to be giving you my thoughts as to which add-on is a better add-on in terms of the authenticity of air traffic control operations. So I'll give you my thoughts as to how they fare up to each other, Pro ATC SR and FS HUD. They're essentially two add-ons for the same sim and essentially do the same thing. Benny coming with 15 months of VVIP membership at the Q8 Pilot channel. Thank you very much, sir, for your support. We have also with us Scott. Hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Thank you for your support. And we have also Steve. Steve, welcome aboard. And Hector. Hector, thank you very much. A good Saturday to you, sir. I hope that you are having a great day, and thank you very much for being a member here at the Q8 Pilot channel. So, we are going to be flying the FENIX A320 today, Volaris 221, and this is a real-world flight on the A320 for Volaris from Cancun International in Mexico to La Aurora International in Guatemala. So, hopefully it's going to be a nice ride for you guys. I hope that you enjoy the show. And I might add that the approach into La Aurora International in Guatemala is quite a challenging approach. And I can't wait to show you what Pro ATC is going to give us in terms of instructions. Now, right off the bat, I will tell you that the procedures in Pro ATC SR is far better than FS HUD. So the actual sequence of what you actually need to do. So first up, we're going to hop into the cockpit of the beautiful FENIX A320, and I've already loaded up the cargo, the fuel, all of that, just in the interest of time. And we are going to head over here to the overhead panel. But before we do so, let me go ahead and bring up some traffic here because I do want to also show you how I think it slows down a little bit. So now we have a little bit of traffic here. As you can see, Southwest, Cooper Airlines, some traffic here, Frontier, all these nice little AI aircraft around Cancun. And the reason I'd like to do this with air traffic control today is the fact that Pro ATC interacts with all of the AI traffic generated in the sim, which is a major advantage over FS HUD, which only interacts with the traffic that it generates on its own. So we're going to go to battery 1, battery 2, and we're going to bring up the external power. We are going to arm the emergency lights and set the seat belt and fasten and the non-smoking signs on. We are going to turn the nav lights on, cruise supply is on, ground control is on, and we're going to set the adheres to nav mode, and we can now set up the MCDU. While things happening here, let's head over to the MCDU, and we're going to go to the ATSU menu, go to the AOC menu, and we're going to do a flight init, and we're going to request the data. Perfect. And we have with us Cesar. Hello, Cesar. Welcome aboard. Oh, La Aurora is your home airport, Matthew. Well, I'm glad that we're flying to your home country today. Just grabbing my tequila and ready to enjoy. Perfect, Hector. Excellent. I have my coffee. Unfortunately, we don't have alcohol in Kuwait, but I do have my coffee to accompany me during our flight today. All right, so we're going to go to init, and we're going to request the flight plan. Now, one thing I've noticed, I'm not sure that if it's indigenous to this livery that I'm flying, but every time I take off in the FENIX with this livery, I get so many issues with the auto throttle. I'm not sure if this is, again, if this is something to do with, with the aircraft, or if there is something else I'm doing wrong. I have no clue, but hopefully we'll be able to manage it. All right, so we need to get our flight plan. So we are today Volaris 221, which is VOI 221, and we're going to enter that here. The cost index today is 5, and the cruise altitude is going to be 30,000 feet. So we are going to enter that, and iris init, align on reference, and confirm. Now, one very important thing in Pro ATC SR is that it actually follows exactly the right procedure. So let me just bring up the interface here real quick and show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, so this is the interface, and you don't really need to do. We'll take a look at all the options once we are airborne. So we'll have more time to take a look at all the options. But the immediate thing that I want to say is, first of all, it has integration with SimBrief, which is great. And when you load the flight plan, it will not load the SIDs and stars. And that is actually very accurate, because normally the SID, star, and the runways are assigned by air traffic control. And this is actually simulated beautifully in Pro ATC SR. Another thing that I'd like to say is that SR stands for speech recognition. So this application will actually hear your voice. So you could say, for example, Cancun ground, whatever, Volaris 221 request startup with information Quebec, something like that. So it will actually take that, and the air traffic control would respond to you. In this live stream, it would be very difficult for me to do the speech, and because I switch back and forth from talking to you guys and doing the ATC. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using the built-in ATC for both the pilot and air traffic control. But I hope that I can show you the this application, what it can do for you, and hopefully I will do a video, and I will show you in that video how the voice recognition work. All right, so we're going to go to the flight plan, and very easy. You simply go to import flight plan from SimBrief, and what it will do is it will pop up this little screen for you. It will have everything here populated automatically. As you can see, Airbus Industries A320 Volaris. The only thing you need to do, you need to select the correct flight number, which is 221 for our flight today. We can see the cruise level here is set, and this is the flight route out of Cancun to La Aurora International in Guatemala. Only thing we need to do now is we're going to cancel this because I already have the plan here. So we're going to go to flight plan, and we're going to say fly now. Once you say fly now, it will generate a menu. So now if I go here to, let's see if it's, let's see. All right, we're just waiting for the, right. And we can remove all of that. Perfect. Now we have the flight. All right, so now let me, all right, so we need to select. All right, so we were flying the FENIX A320, and right now these are the aircraft that are supported: the FENIX, the Leonardo, and the PMDG. And generate flight plan for scheduled add-on aircraft. No, we're going to untick that. Create default flight plan. No, we're going to remove all of this. Add procedure waypoint. We're not going to add them because I want ATC to assign them to us. So I'm just going to say OK. All right. Now we have this little window here, and this is where the fun begins. says, welcome to Pro ATC generated flight from Cancun International to La Aurora International. Active frequency is clearance delivery. Please switch to ATIS. Notice that. That's very cool. If you want to listen and read the ATIS, your call sign is Volaris 211. Perfect. Let's put this away now. And we are going to start the APU here real quick. So master APU is on, master switch. And we're going to go ahead and start the APU. And while the APU is starting, we can set up the rest of the aircraft. But first, we are going to get our clearance from tower. So let's go ahead and request our clearance. But we are going to listen to ATIS first, which is on 127.
Delivery 637 with the weather. Request clearance.
All right.
637. ATC is correct. ATC clearance to Mike Alpha Sierra via Charlie Uniform November 3 Alpha departure runway and then asphalt. Climb to 8,000. Expect within 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 124.2. Squawk 7457. QNH 1017.
Mike Uniform November Airport information. Kilo 1741 Zulu. Wind 090 at 15. Visibility 1030 tree. Dew point 26, QNH 1017, ILS, runways 12 left and ILS, runways 12 right in use. Landing and departing ILS, runways 12 left and ILS, runways 12 right. VFR aircraft SATO.
All right. So we've heard the ATIS, and you've heard some other aircraft here getting clearance from tower. And this is something I really like in Pro ATC because this is exactly how it sounds in real world. Is you get the ATIS, you get information Quebec, information Romeo, whatever the case may be, and then you request the clearance. And you've also seen how it actually interacts with other aircraft also in the simulator, which is pretty cool. All right, so. Does it inject live traffic? No, Captain Robbie, it does not inject live traffic, but it will interact with whatever traffic you have. And Wari Joseph, welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. Parasum, can you do VFR flights using this ATC or it's only IFR? As far as I know, it's only IFR. I haven't tested it in for VFR. All right, so let's go ahead and request clearance from tower.
Clearance delivery. VOI 211 with the ATIS request clearance.
Volaris 211. ATC clearance to Mike Golf Tango via Charlie Uniform November 3 Bravo departure runway 12 left and then asphalt. Climb to 10,000. Expect flight level 300 within 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 124.2. Squawk 2422. QNH 1017.
Cleared to MGGT via CU entry, Bravo runway 12 left, climb into 10,000, expect flight level 300, then 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 124.2, squawk 2422, QNH 1017, VOI 211.
Volaris 211, feedback correct, contact rank on 130.5.
Roger, 130.5, VOI 211.
All right, so you guys have heard the clearance that we got from tower, and the voices are actually very, very nice voices. From their website, Pro ATC is available for $49 until September 15th. Then it's, in case anyone was wondering. Thank you very much, Steph, for the information. Now, where is it getting the weather? It's getting the weather. Currently, I have the NOAA weather and VATSIM. It uses NOAA for the METARs. And uses I'll show you guys once we're airborne where the weather is coming from. But as you have heard, the weather, the actual voices are very believable. They are very realistic, and the phraseology is spot on. That is very, very accurate phraseology. So we have 10,000 set here, and according to the flight plan, we have 12 left. I was hoping for 12 right, but that's okay. So we're going to select the departure. We're going to select 12 left, and it's going to be through, according to ATC, through the Con 3 Bravo, which is this one here. So Con 3 Bravo, and we're going to select insert. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we don't put the SID or the arrival runway until we actually get it from ATC. So, so right now, we put this here. That's the departure runway. Unfortunately, I have the GSX set up to put us on the other side, but that's all right. We'll use the follow me again. We have GSX today working. All right, so now that we have the flight plan, we can go to the next page. So we're going to go to init, and we're going to go to the next page and enter all the fuel information. We're going to go here to mass and balance real quick. All right, there we go. And 60.9. So 60.9. And then we can select 29.4. 29.4. And we stick that here. And then we have the fuel today for the flight, 6.6. 6.6. And
Ground,
that is
Southwest 1996. Request startup and pushback.
Southwest 1996. Startup and pushback approved.
Approved. Southwest 1996.
all right. So now we have everything here set. We can now go to the performance. And from the performance page, we can go to our friendly EFB provided by FENIX Simulation. And we can sync everything from the load sheet and the weather as well, calculate the information, and that will give us 146, 146, and 148. So let's go ahead and put that 146, 146, and 148. All right, that is set. And flaps today is going to be flaps 1 down 0.02, flaps 1 and down 0.2.
Ground, United 1154.
Right, set.
Clear of the runway. Request taxi to parking.
And
United
temperature
1154.
63.
Taxi via Bravo Charlie Delta 2 parking spot 32.
Via Bravo Charlie Delta 2 parking position 32. United 1154.
All right, perfect. So we have everything set here. Flight plan is ready. Let's just make sure we accept the load sheet. So let me go to the McDo, ATSU, and then we're going to go to the AOC menu. We're going to go to received messages. We still don't have it there. That's all right. We are good here. And we can now actually start the next step, which is we're going to request now the pushback and start. So everything looks good here. All right. All right, let's contact ground once more.
Ground VOI211. Request startup and pushback.
Victor Oscar India 211. Startup and pushback approved.
Approved. VOI211.
All right, so the one thing is I've noticed is that some of the voices will not actually read the correct call sign, which is Volaris in this case. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I guess it depends on the selected voices. There are multiple voices that you can select to match the actual region you're flying. Right now, I just have it set at the default, which is a UK voice, but that can be changed. I might have already missed your answer to this question. Is ATC reaching the sim, reacting to the sim AI, or is it just random? No, it is actually reacting to the sim AI. And we'll see here, if I actually just look out here, let's see if there are, there you can see there's an aircraft heading over there to the runway. So yeah, so it is definitely reacting to everything you see on the ground. On an earlier flight, there was actually a very long lineup, and it told me that I was number 3 for takeoff.
Ground, United 169.
Was really cool.
United 1691.
All right.
Engine start approved.
Roger, cleared for startup. United 169.
Right, departure clearance has been requested now, and we should get GSX to push us back now. But it looks like we're going to have to make a turn, so it's going to put us this way, or it's going to point us that way, and I believe the runway is probably on the other side. Yeah, that's 12 right. We were assigned 12 left, so
Request runway 12 right, VOI211.
Victor Oscar India 211. Contact clearance on 122.1.
122.1 VOI211. Ground VOI211. Request taxi.
Volaris 211. Contact run on 130.5.
130.5 VOI211.
All right. So what I've done, guys, is I've kind of jumped the gun here, and we're going to use the... All right. So for those of you who watched my tutorial on GCX setting up a custom route, now I can use the auto-saved quick edit pushback. So we're going to select that and dismiss FENIX GPU. Oh, all right. Let's go to... Did we turn on the APU bleed? All right, APU bleed. Let's remove that. Turn on the fuel pumps. All right, and we can now dismiss the ground services, GPU. All right, now we're locking the gear. All right, so what I've done is I've requested the other runway, so I'm going to go here and check the departure. We're going to select 12 right, again through the Con 3. Con 3A. We're going to insert that. And let's clear the discontinuity.
Please parking brakes, please.
Alright, here we go.
Please parking brakes.
Oh, sorry, okay.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start
Alright.
runway.
Here we go. We forgot to remove the jetway, but that's alright. And now the aircraft is pushing back out of our position. And it looks like there is an aircraft right there. There's a departure here.
Ground 7429. Request start up and pushback.
7429er. Start up and push back approved.
Approved. 7429.
And we are now pushing back. So far, it works pretty good. We've already been cleared to taxi, so I kind of jumped the gun there. Wow, you're flying to Guatemala. That's my country. Excellent. We have a couple of guys today from Guatemala. I already have a pilot to ATC. It is worth the extra expense to get Pro ATC. Pilot to ATC doesn't work, unfortunately, on my machine for some reason, so I don't have it, and therefore I cannot comment. But let's go ahead and start our engines now. Engine number 2. Perfect. Pushback to face the taxiway here, and taxi to runway 12 right. Perfect.
Please set parking brakes.
All right, parking brake set.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
All right. So now the pushback guys are going to do what they need to do, and we'll just wait for the engine number 2 to stabilize. Start engine number 1. And I believe we can go ahead and start the engine number 1. Yeah, let's go ahead and start engine number 1. Engine number 1 is now starting. And I'll just go ahead and confirm good engine start so that we don't waste too much time here. Confirm good engine start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Unlocking gear.
Alright, unlocking gear. As you can see, this is the aircraft that just requested push and start from ATC, and he's now getting ready to taxi as well. So definitely a Pro ATC
Volaris 212
works.
is cleared of the runway.
I'm not sure what this guy is doing.
212. Taxi via Alpha. 2K19er.
Via Alpha to gate 19 Volaris 212.
But there's, you can see there's a lineup of aircraft there taking off. And,
Contact disconnected. Bypass being removed. Left is clear. Right is clear.
what is that guy doing there? Kind of went and hid into the trees. All right. So we are pretty much ready to go now. We have both engines there. And we can now turn off
American 1001 is cleared off the runway.
engine mode selector.
American 1001,
Bleed.
taxi via Charlie to gate 20.
Via Charlie to gate 20. American 1001.
Taxi lights, runway turn off lights, maximum braking, the speed brake, auto brake to max, and arm the speed brake, and this one is 0.2, and let's see here. Let's just wait for the signal from the ground crew,
7-1, request
and
startup.
we'll be on
7-1,
our way.
Engine start approved.
Roger. Start approved. 7-1.
All right. So it looks like he's given us the signal. I kind of missed it. All right. So let's go ahead and release the parking brake. And is this flaps 1 or 2? No, flaps good. All right. So everything's good here. Parking brake released. And let's taxi to the runway. Now, for those of you just joining the stream, welcome aboard. And just very quickly, guys, I'm having some issues with this aircraft. This livery only, for some reason, immediately upon takeoff, it gives me errors that the auto throttle is disconnecting and all sorts of issues with the autopilot disconnecting. Hopefully won't happen this time, but it has happened in almost every flight I've done with this Volaris livery. I'm not sure why. Hopefully, but nothing that we cannot handle. So we should be good. And it looks like there is an aircraft coming to land here. By the way, Pro ATC SR has also an integrated co-pilot that runs a checklist with you, but it is kind of, you know, it is a little bit rudimentary in terms of why is it not taking me to... All right.
Ground VOI211. Request start up and pushback.
Victor Oscar India 211. Start up
Alright.
and push back approved.
Sorry, guys.
Approved. VOI211.
Kind of got carried away there with the views. All right. Now, I do
Grant Volaris
like the
135.
sounds a
Cleared of
lot.
the runway. Request taxi to parking.
135, taxi via Alpha Delta to parking spot 41.
Via Alpha Delta to parking position 41. Volaris 135.
So the sounds are very believable. Some are better than others. So not all the sounds are super realistic, but they are definitely a lot better than FS HUD if we were to compare them. And they sound in most of the sounds are actually very believable sounds. So best gamers, hello my friend, welcome aboard. I'm also getting ready to fly from Moldova to Sharm el-Sheikh on, oh, very cool. All right, let's now get carried away with the taxi speed. Right, we're approaching the runway now. That's our departure runway. So originally we were given 12 left, but it's on the other side of the terminal. So I selected a change for 12 right, and ATC has approved it. And we are now approaching the hold short point for runway 12 right here at Cancun International in Mexico. Right, here we go. All right.
Ground VOI211. Request taxi.
Victor Oscar India 211. Taxi via Alpha Delta Bravo to runway 12 left.
Via Alpha Delta Bravo.
Still
runway
asking us to
12
go
left,
to
VOI211.
12 left.
Now we ask that you direct your attention to the forward side of each cabin.
All right, let me see if I can.
The captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign if you haven't already done so. We request that you store your luggage and take your seats.
Tower VOI211 at runway 12 left. Request departure.
Victor Oscar India 211. Contact tower on 118.6.
118.6. VOI211.
After carefully reviewing this card, if you believe you could be injured, do not wish to or cannot perform the functions listed, please notify us.
Speed's not inserted. Really?
At this time, we also request that you store your electronic
I thought we did
devices until
that.
we are above 10,000 feet. I will notify you when it is safe to bring these items out for use. If there's any question as to what device you can use on board today, please refer to the Welcome Aboard section of your My Magazine. Thank you for your attention.
All right, you have everything set.
Tower VOI211 at runway 12 left. Request departure.
VOI211. Line up runway 12 left.
Lining up runway 12 left. VOI211.
All right, it wants us to. For some reason, it did not take the instruction to take runway 12 right. But that's all right. So I'm just gonna fly from this runway since we've already put it in the plan. And there's an option to force the takeoff from your current position with Pro ATC, and we'll take a look at that as well once we are airborne.
VOI211. Wind 090 F15. Runway 12 left. Cleared for takeoff.
Runway 12 left. Cleared for takeoff. VOI211.
Right, here we go.
Knots.
E1, rotate. Positive rate, gears going up. There we go, that's the problem.
Gear up.
What does it say here? Gear not...
VOI211. Contact departure on 124.2.
124.2. VOI211. Departure VOI211. Passing 900 for 10,000.
VOI211. Radar contact. Continue with climb. CU at 3 Bravo. Departure climb to 10,000.
Via CU entry. Bravo. Departure. Climb to 10,000. VOI211.
United 1052. Maintain present altitude.
Present altitude, United 1052.
Right, so as you can see, there is really... The sounds are... The instructions that we're getting as we departed Cancun is very, very accurate. Let's go ahead and engage the autopilot. And let's take a look here. What is it complaining about? Ah, TCAS. Right, grand spoilers disarmed.
VOI211. Turn to heading 200.
Heading 200. VOI211.
Right, so it's giving us the heading to the next waypoint. We are already in autopilot mode, so we don't really need to change anything. But it actually, what a Pro ATC will do is it will vector you exactly to the next waypoint until you can resume your own navigation, which is something that is normally done by ATC as well.
VOI211. Turn to heading 210.
OI211.
Here's a nice swing view for you guys. Let's increase the range a little bit.
VOI211. Climb and maintain flight level 220.
Right.
Climb and maintain flight level 220. VOI211.
VOI211. Turn to heading 205.
Heading 205. VOI211.
Alright, so we've been instructed now to climb. So far, the phraseology is spot on. Very, very good. Everything is as expected. Have different voices? Yes, they do have different voices and different accents. You have, we'll take a look at that once we are in cruise. I will show you more, and if you guys are enjoying the stream, I would very much appreciate hitting that like button, as it really helps the channel. Alright, we're approaching 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and kill the landing lights. And runway turn off lights and wing lights. The rest of the lights are okay. And everything else looks good. We are now above 10,000 feet, and the aircraft is going to accelerate to 200, beg your pardon, to about 300 knots or so. Does Pro ATC will work with add-on airports? It works with everything. Yes, it works. It is actually a standalone application, so it works in aside Microsoft Flight Simulator. Doesn't really need anything except SIM Connect to connect to the SIM, and if you have other add-ons, it should already be installed, and that's how it actually communicates with the SIM. Let's go ahead and kill the non-smoking, and fasten seatbelt signs, and cabin crew can now begin the in-flight service. And we continue our climb now. And of course, with the final cruise altitude is 30,000 feet, but we need to wait for ATC to clear us to that altitude. Phil, hello my friend, welcome aboard. Brian, welcome aboard. Can it work over the network? You know what? I did not test that, but I think it should. I'm not sure. But I'll check on that for you, and maybe do it in my video tutorial where I'm going to actually show you the speech recognition feature of Pro ATC. So far, so good. Everything is looking pretty good. We are going to set barrel reference at 18,500 feet. Here's a look at the outside for you. Here's a wing view.
VOI211. Contact radar on 125.2.
125.2. VOI211.
Again,
radar
we've been handed over.
VOI211. Passing 5,000 foot, flight level 220.
VOI211 identified. Continued.
Continue on navigation. VOI211.
Again, as you can see, as we've been handed over to the next controller, the phraseology is very good and as expected. And by the way, in the chat window here, you can see that I have the full history of all the commands that were given to us throughout. So you have the entire history here. You can go say again, and you also can use the keyboard buttons and map them to all these commands, like new request, confirm, say again, all of that good stuff. So right now we are continuing our climb to 22,000, and we'll wait for ATC clearance for our final cruise altitude of 30,000. We are approximately at 18.5. Let's go ahead and set barrel reference to standard on both sides. And by the way, the landing at Guatemala La Aurora International Airport is very challenging. especially if we're going to get runway 02 for landing. It is a very mountainous area with a very high elevation, so it's going to be very interesting landing as well. So lots of good stuff.
I-211, climb and maintain flight level 300.
All right.
Climb and maintain flight level 300, VOI-211.
All right, so we've been cleared to our final cruise altitude by ATC, and we're going to now cruise to 30,000 feet. And that would be our final cruise altitude. Perfect. Again, very, very nice. And approximately, since I started the clock a little bit late, but probably 5 minutes after departure is when I started the clock. And 10 minutes later, we have been cleared to 30,000. And if you recall, this is exactly what clearance delivery told us in the beginning, that we should expect 30,000 10 minutes after departure. So we have been cleared exactly 10 minutes after departure to 30,000 feet, which is pretty cool. Does it recognize mountain heights, especially on approach? I believe yes. I believe it does account for that. I am not sure if it accounts for elevation, but it will. The lovely thing about Pro ATC SR is that it will actually do what ATC does in real life. It will tell you to slow down to like 185 knots. Then it says slow down to approach speed. It gives you all those instructions, and this is actually very, very cool. It really provides for a very immersive experience, and let alone the fact that you can actually talk with your own voice to air traffic control. For me, who don't speak English very well, is it possible to have subtitles of ATC? I don't know. I have no clue. Mr. Santiago, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. We have also Roberto. Welcome aboard, my friend. Pedro, welcome. Glad to have you with us. And also, the Aurora runway is quite short. It is very short, and it is quite challenging. But Central, what I'm noticing, folks, lately is that the South America, Central America, and South America, the countries in those continents or those regions of the world have very challenging approaches because of their mountainous terrain. So it's actually quite fun to fly into those areas. And you can see the top of climb now is coming up right here, and all is looking good. Aircraft systems are okay, and we can come down here and click right here, and you can see this is the status. Everything's normal. Here are our temperatures. Everything looks good. Perfect. So let me bring up the ATC. All right, so you've seen the initial screen. Now from here, if we go to the menu, let me bring up the menu. All right, so from this menu we can have all the requests here. So the next request, we can use a direct to initialize descent, which we will use later, other altitude, emergency, alternate airport. So just make sure that if you want to use all the capabilities, you need to have it entered in the initial flight plan. So you need to make sure that the alternate airport is listed there. You can also use this command completely during the flight to confirm or say again. Close the window after request is something that you can also do. The flight plan information here provides you with everything related to the flight. Kind of a brief, if you will. Airports, Cancun to La Aurora, and we are call sign and flight is Volaris 211. Transponder code, cruise altitude, active waypoint, comm frequency to set, and the available altitude to set. So this is all the information you need there. And of course you have the route of the flight here. If we go to the departure, so of course we've already left, so there's no more information available here. But now we have all the arrival information. As you can see, La Aurora Airport, landing runway 02 ILS. This is the frequency. So you can actually go and change that in the McDo now, because now we can expect which runway we're going to be given. But I'm not going to do that because that ruins the fun of really getting the information from ATC. So you can see the approach transition, all the information here related to Pro ATC is available, to the flight, beg your pardon, is available here. Then we can go to the waypoints and it will highlight the current waypoint that we're flying at. This of course will change as we progress through the flight. We can go to the METAR and you can see the METAR for departure and for the destination. We can go to the checklist. Now the checklist is not something I really like. I prefer first officer next, but it does offer you this. You can use it. It doesn't really interact with the aircraft, so it doesn't really do anything. But if you just want to hear, you know, the co-pilot, you can interact with the co-pilot in voice command to do it before takeoff, after takeoff, cockpit preparation. Obviously, we don't have cockpit preparation anymore because we're already airborne, but you can see it has it all the way to securing the aircraft. I will tell you that these are okay. They're not great. The sounds are very nice, the voices, but they don't follow any proper airline SOPs or anything like that. But it's there as a complete add-on if you don't want to invest additionally in the, for example, first officer next or FS2 crew. This will do the job for you. It will definitely create that level of immersion. It's not as detailed. It does not follow a real-world SOP, but you know, it does the job. And then from the options menu here, you can do a host of things. Co-pilot support. So I've turned off a lot of the things that the co-pilot does because I want to do them myself. But there is everything that you can do. You can language for text instructions. You can change this from English Great Britain to I guess I don't have the English I don't have the language packs downloaded, so I just have English Great Britain here. And there is a set of other options here. You can also tweak to your liking. Mainly here you can really know what the co-pilot is going to say. We should have probably also had announced V1, V-rotate, and V2. I did not have those set. And you can also have him set your flaps and spoilers, set the gear up and down, configure the lights for you. I have turned all of this off so that I can do it on my own. And other things that you can do also, you can map those buttons, so you can check in with controller with keys 1 through 4, and then 0 is the in-flight menu, and then you have speech recognition mic on or off is number 5. I'm not using those. I'm just using really the interface, and so I have another monitor where I can just place this and see everything visually. Speech recognition is currently not turned on, but you can see that you can select any of these languages here. They're all English, but you can select the different accents. The voices, on the other hand, can be like a German co-pilot or things like that. I think we can take a look at that once we land, because we need to start the we need to be outside of this menu in order to show you the rest of the information. Now we can click here and say show map, as you can see here. So this is the in-flight map, and this is where we are. This is the traffic around us as well, as you can see here. So there's definitely some traffic. This is us right there, and there's traffic around us in the sim with all the flight plans. This is of course Alpha India Group, but you can see again all the information here with the current weather information, the waypoints, all information related to the flight. You can also put the sectors, airports, so you can definitely show things and hide them as you wish. And you can use auto pause as well. Anything that you really want to see, you can change here just to kind of visually see where you are flying. One thing I will say also that the application, this add-on is quite new, so it's being updated. It has received 2 updates since I purchased it a few days ago, so it looks like the team is very active updating the software and making sure that it works and as soon as you report a bug, you'll see that they come back with an update shortly thereafter. So, good application overall. I'm quite happy with it. What server are you using? I'm using the Asia East server. How can you purchase Pro ATC SR without PayPal? PayPal is not in my country. I have no clue. Maybe you want to send them an email, see if they have an alternate way to purchase the add-on. All right. So we are now continuing our flight, cruising at our final cruise altitude, and everything is looking fine and dandy from my perspective. Let's go ahead and maybe do an outside view here. Lovely. Yes, GSX Pro has Navigraph. Yes, indeed, it has Navigraph, and it also has SimBrief. Has both. So far, if I were to select between FS HUD and Pro ATC SR, I would definitely go with Pro ATC SR. Simply because I think it recreates a more authentic experience of ATC operations in the sim. I very much enjoyed the couple of flights I've done. ATC seems to be active and gives proper instructions. Even as we approach our destination, you will see that it actually does give proper instructions. It works for any airport in the sim, and yeah, overall works great. Yes, hello. Do you have GSX Pro? Yes, sir, I do. And we have also Flying with T. Welcome aboard, Fred. Welcome aboard, Nana. How can you purchase Pro ATC? Oh, Nana, welcome aboard, my friend. Sorry, I didn't know that you were. I just was reading the questions. So welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us this evening. And we have also Collimator79. Good evening to you, my friend. I love this ATC and got it years ago. Back on FSX, I bought this one 2 days ago. Yes. So I've used Pro ATC for P3D. And I will tell you that I did not like it for P3D because it was all over the place, and I never was actually able to do a successful flight in Pro ATC in P3D. However, in this version, in MSFS, it works flawlessly, really, and I really, really like it a lot. We have Jorg, is it Jorg? Has just become a subscriber of the Q8 Pilot channel. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you as part of the Q8 Pilot family. I have Pro ATC SR and really love it. In some scenarios, Pro ATC SR is better than Pilot 2 ATC. I would probably agree with you that it's an absolutely fine piece of software. I don't know how it compares to Pilot 2 ATC, but without a doubt, it is much better than FS HUD in all respects. The actual add-on itself, the configuration is quite easy, and it automatically just downloads the plan for you, gives you proper SID stars and runway assignments, and it keeps you on your toes, gives you proper instructions. It will vector you in properly. Now there are of course glitches, and you will expect glitches as this software is very new for the sim, but the support team is apparently very responsive. I have not had to contact them, but normally as part of my review I go and read on the forums and see what people actually think of the software, and it has received very favorable feedback from the community. A few folks were complaining about that the ATC kept giving them instructions and kept them in a circle. But I've never had that issue, but that was just one feedback from one user who was having some issues. Overall, though, it's pretty solid, works pretty well. And we can now take a look here at our flight information. Here's our flight plan, and we're going to go here and put it on preference. And the TED is in 212 nautical miles, so we're not too far from our current destination. And we have with us Bong V. Welcome aboard to the Q8 Pilot channel, and thank you for being part of the family. How is the voice options simulation flow? The voice options are actually very good, and once we land at our destination, I will show you guys, I will play the sounds for you, so you'll be able to hear them out and judge for yourself. But I will tell you guys right off the bat, the sounds are actually very, very good in Pro ATC, both the co-pilot and the controllers. And there is a set of voices for the controllers and a set of voices for the pilots, so they are different. So you can tweak those. You can hear somebody from, for example, you know, with a Spanish accent, or someone with a German accent. Overall, I think it works pretty well, and the voices are very believable. In some cases, they can sound a little robotic, but overall, they sound pretty good. That's without a doubt. Looks like Sim Update 10 for Microsoft Flight Simulator has been delayed to mid-September. No promises though, but it appears that the team at Asobo and Microsoft are not happy with the performance of Sim Update 10 at this point. I think it was supposed to release on the 23rd or 25th of August, so that's a pushback there. But you know, I definitely respect those decisions when they're made, because they don't want to really push something unless it meets a certain criteria, and if the criteria isn't met, then it's a no-go, and that's something I can appreciate definitely from Microsoft and Asobo. But it seems like all the updates have been pushed back, so probably better planning is required. Nonetheless, appreciate all the effort from the Microsoft and the Asobo teams. Really, the sim is great. I tell you, I have been really enjoying Microsoft Flight Simulator lately, especially after being able to tweak everything to harness, the power of my graphic card and CPU. And I am, by the way, still building my new PC. It's going to take me some time because I haven't had much free time to really focus on it. But it's in the making. And you never know, maybe by the time I'm ready to actually purchase the graphic card, the 4000 series will be available. But hopefully I'll get done with it in the next month or so. This machine is still a monster of a machine, and it's still very capable. But I'm just always looking for upgrades to also match the. So I have other requirements as well on my PC. I use 3D rendering software, which is very, very hungry for for GPU and CPU power.
I-211, contact Central America for 123
decimal
9er.
123 decimal 9er, VOI211. Central America, VOI211, at flight level 300.
VOI211, roger, continue on.
Continue on navigation, VOI211.
Alright, so as you can see now, we've been handed over to Central America. And that's what you would expect from ATC. Joe, good evening to you, my friend. SK, hello, my friend. Welcome aboard. And Face Megan Is this the FENIX? Yes, it is the FENIX A320, my friend. All right, let's take a look at the outside real quick. We're looking good. Everything is per design intent. And we can go. Oops, what's that? Whoops. All right. There we go. That's a wing view for you guys. And more wing views here. That's a better one. I love this. The wing view out of the Airbus is just looking at the aircraft wing is just really nice. So, any news on X-Plane 12? It looks like it's nearing release. So, according to Austin Meyer, the owner and the founder of Laminar Research, it should be anytime in September. So we're not very far away from the release. And quite honestly, guys, I can't wait to put my hands on it and start streaming it for you guys. And doing all sorts of tutorials and flights. It's very promising, and I really can't wait. I missed the start of the stream. How is the add-on? Well, Joe, the add-on, in my view, is very promising add-on. It works as advertised. It is very authentic in terms of the actual procedure and the sequence of events that normally takes place in a flight. The response and the instructions given from ATC are extremely accurate. Phraseology is very accurate, and it works pretty well. It is actually a very well polished software, much better than the previous versions for P3D. I love the fact that it integrates with SimBrief, and I absolutely adore the fact that it interacts with other AI traffic in the sim. That is something I really like a lot, and it does make a huge difference when you're lined up for takeoff, for example, and you have 3-4 aircrafts ahead of you, and you hear ATC giving clearance to the aircraft ahead of you, telling you that you are number 3 for takeoff. And that is just brilliant.
American Center, American 2539er, at flight level 300.
American 2539er, identified.
Alright, that was another aircraft there on the same frequency. So overall, I think really it does work very well. And it works as advertised, and as a means of comparing it to FS HUD, I think this is a much better add-on. It's definitely, from the authenticity perspective, this is much better. It works again, it works flawlessly. I've done several flights with it in different airports with different aircraft. Now the thing is, it only works with the FENIX A320, the Leonardo software Mad Dog, and the 2 PMDGs, the 700 and the 600. That to me is a little bit of a, it's not a big deal, but those are the 4 major airliners available today. But it would be, of course, I would love to see the support extended to other aircraft as well. Things like the general aviation aircraft. Right now, I think it's probably, built towards IFR flights, airliners, rather than VFR and general aviation. But hopefully, if you have a call, I'm sure that you can try it for the other aircraft, like the TBM, for example. But I was surprised that the CRJ is not included. Hopefully, with time, they will add additional support for additional aircraft. But as it stands today, they probably targeted the most used airliners, which is the FENIX, the Leonardo Software MD-80, and the PMDG 737, and that's probably what they've done here, and hopefully more support to come. I don't think that I've seen a roadmap for the product on the Pointsoft website, but hopefully we can. I'll probably reach out to support to understand, you know, if they have additional, aircraft lined up for support in the future. Mako Simulations, welcome aboard. Should have let us know you were flying from MMUN. Well, I think I probably didn't put the flight in the title. I'm not sure if I did or not. Sorry about that. But yeah, I believe you guys are the developers of the airport. Well, welcome aboard, Mako Simulations. Welcome aboard, my friend. Microsoft benefits hugely from having Bing. Unless XP12 come to agreement with someone like Google, they're going to have to rely on community inputs. Arthur for XP, people have moved past this now. Well, Joe, let me tell you this. X-Plane isn't going to do that. No, I mean, we could have gotten you a copy. Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much. I am probably going to fly from... I'm probably going to fly again and again from these airports in Central and South America. I'll be more than happy to do another flight from Cancun, Mexico, and stream your airport without a doubt, my friend. No worries at all. If you need to contact me ever in the future, please go ahead and send me an email at info@q8pilot.com. I'll be more than happy to do you know, a showcase of your airport here on the channel. Aero Chris, welcome aboard. I'm doing very well, thanks for asking. We have also Majid El Ahmed. How are you doing, my friend? Welcome aboard. Does it manage AI traffic from AIG? That's exactly what we're doing, Majid, in this flight. So it is actually managing all the traffic from Alpha India Group, which I have. Looks like you've just joined the stream, but that's what we've done. We've injected Alpha India Group traffic into the sim, and now we can see that it is flying. It actually manages the aircraft, so it will coordinate the aircraft. It will control them, and it gives them clearance for takeoff, clearance for landing, all that good stuff. It works very, very well, very, very immersive. It's excellent. And Viper Racing Monos, have you installed GSX? Yes, sir. We have installed GSX, and we've used it to push back out of our position back at Cancun. I've heard a lot of reports GSX Pro causing CTDs. Have you experienced any? Because I have purchased it, but scared to install. Well, Nana, I have not had any issues at all, but yes, I have heard many reports of people having CTDs with it. I am not sure why, but hopefully, I know for a fact that the live update, there are two ways you can update, from the installer and from the live update. Live update doesn't work for some reason on my machine, it just crashes. But I've had no crashes of GCX or the sim at all from all the flights that I've done with GCX, and I've done quite a few. I've customized some positions. I've customized a couple of airports. By the way, we have, is it Ibiza or Ibiza or Ibiza or Ibiza? I don't know how to pronounce it. This little island in Spain. There is a beautiful scenery created by I Scene, which is currently under embargo, but we'll be able to stream it past Monday, and I am actually very, very excited about that scenery. Probably the best scenery by I Scene. The airport is incredibly accurate, and it's just really lovely rendition by I Scene. I can't wait to show you guys. And by the way, I built the Q8 Pilot official partners. have graciously offered 2 copies to give to the Q8 Pilot Channel subscribers. So stay tuned for that. Probably Tuesday I will stream that, and we'll do a flight into the beautiful Spanish island and take a look at the rendition. Now, of course, we can all argue about how the island actually is pronounced, but I'm sure that all of you guys will agree with me that the ionizing rendition of that island is superb. So just stay, you are tuned in for our Monday, or I beg your pardon, our Tuesday stream perhaps, or Wednesday, I'm not sure. Mako Simulations, thank you very much. I appreciate it, my friend. I'll get in contact with you as soon as possible. And again, I am very thankful for your offer, and I will be delighted to showcase your airports, whether it's Cancun or anything else that you'd like to showcase on the channel. I'll be more than happy to work with you. Can you use any aircraft with this just for ATC? So it looks, Adrian, what it does, it detects all the aircraft, it interacts with all the aircraft, but for your aircraft, it has to be either the FENIX, the PMDG, or the Leonardo MD-80 at this point in time, at the time of streaming this, the stream. Here we are, continuing our flight over Central America. Here's a wing view. And on the other side as well. You gotta love the wing views in the FENIX. Fantastic. I was thinking of getting the PMDG 700 in the next week, but I'm not sure if it's better to wait for the 800 instead. What would you recommend? Well, Eric Chris, I think the aircraft I think the 700 and the 800 differ in very, very slight ways, very subtle ways. The differences are, in the size of the aircraft, in the capacity, but in the operation, the actual operation of the aircraft, they are pretty much the same. So I would really, if you really want to wait for the 800, that's okay. The 700 is definitely enjoyable. But if you want to save some bucks, go for the 600 for now. And it's a lot cheaper, and maybe you can make an investment later on in the 800 version. PMDG good or FENIX, they're both great. Viper Racing, I think they're both great. I have, more affinity for PMDG though, but that's just me. Just FYI, GSX Pro uninstall, MSFS FNX crashing after install. I've had no issues with the GCX Pro and the FENIX, so I am flying the FENIX. I have GSX installed, I have Pro ATC running, and Alpha India Group running, and I have also FS Realistic running, and I have no issues whatsoever. Does it work with FS live traffic? Yes, sir. It works with the... with the live traffic you mean the multiplayers? That I don't know, to be honest. I have no idea if it works with other players. I don't think so. I don't think it will detect multiplayer. So other real-world players that are in the sim, I don't think it will detect that. But it will detect all AI traffic. Yeah, I'm familiar with the 737 Series. 6 years in X-Plane helped. Thank you for the advice. The 600 is definitely on my list. I would save some money. I can get the 800 later once it releases. Yeah, that works. Hey, Sergio, welcome aboard, my friend. Thanks for being here, and thank you for your support being a VVIP member. Thanks for showcasing us Pro ATC for AIG traffic. Does it need to be running AIG traffic controller? No. AIG traffic controller. Well, yeah, the AIG traffic controller needs to be working. in order for it to generate some moving traffic? So the answer would be yes. So yeah, it does work a little bit, Sergio, different from FS HUD, where FS HUD actually generates the traffic, but only interacts with its own generated traffic, whereas Pro ATC SR interacts with the available AI traffic. So if you have zero traffic, there will be zero interaction with other traffic. All right, let's take a look here at our flight plan, and top of descent is in 59 nautical miles. Let's go ahead and enter the information for the descent. We're going to go to the next phase and next phase, and now we can get the information from right here. If we go to my flight, and we're just going to go to the arrival METAR. We're retrieving the METAR here, as you can see. The QNH is 1022, so 1022, that's the QNH, and the current temperature is 24 Celsius at La Aurora International in Guatemala, so that is put here. And Parasim, thank you very much.
Thanks for the review, Captain Man Pilot, hands clapping.
Thank you very much, Parasim, for your super chat of 1.79 pounds. Appreciated, my friend. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Thank you for your support. And we have Ferdinand Froster from Thailand. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us. All right, so everything here is good. And let's see, 08010 knots, 080 and 10 knots. And that's the wind there. Transition altitude is 9,000 feet. And barrows set, and we now have everything there. We're almost at top of descent, 49 nautical miles. So if we go to 80 here, there we go. And as you can see, folks, if we look here, so we still don't have the runway. You can see our flight plan terminates there because we still haven't received anything from ATC as far as the descent is concerned. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask ATC to provide us with the information once we begin the descent. Currently we are at 30,000 feet. We'll wait for about 10 nautical miles before top of descent, and then we will request ATC for clearance to begin our descent towards Guatemala, and specifically La Aurora International Airport, and we'll get the instruction for arrival from ATC. Now we are going to follow their instructions, and you will probably see that they will ask us to reduce our speed and do things like that. So in terms of interactivity, I think it's traffic. It's actually pretty good. TCAS report. It's complaining about traffic. Oh, look at that. Where is the traffic? Well, I can't see anything. Looks like there's some aircraft right below us there. Well, I can't see a thing, so that's alright.
Clear of conflict.
Clear of conflict. Perfect. The TCAS works, obviously. Ah. Now, that's one thing. You see what the aircraft has done? The Airbus? So, what the aircraft has done, this is, again, very, very realistic. So, as it saw the traffic coming, it actually climbed automatically to avoid the collision with the aircraft. We are at 31 nautical miles, and now it's descending back to 30,000 feet. How cool is that? And that is, by the way, I've seen a documentary on the Airbus, and this is actually something that is available in the Airbus. Is it will actually, if the pilot does not respond to a dangerous situation such as a stall or possible, collision, mid-air collision, then the aircraft would actually respond itself automatically. And as you can see, in order for the aircraft to avoid mid-air collision, it has climbed slightly to avoid the incoming traffic. And then after
Central
it was...
America, Center, Delta 1831, at flight level 300. Delta 1831, identified.
And once the aircraft was clear of conflict, it descended again to the cruise level of 30,000 feet, which is pretty cool. 23 nautical miles for top of descent, and we will request ATC clearance to descend in about 20 nautical miles or so. Things are looking good, and we continue. It's going to be, by the way, a beautiful approach into La Aurora in Guatemala. AP puts you in heading mode after avoiding conflict. Oh, does it? Oh, it did. Oh, look at that. All right. All right, well, what we're going to do is we're going to fly direct to, let's see, direct to, insert. All right, and we're back now in nav mode. Thank you very much for letting me know. I wasn't, are you using FS Realistic? Yes, indeed. Yeah, Francisco, thank you very much for... yeah, I'm aware of that. Yeah, we did a direct to, so that... but thank you very much for, pointing this out, because I wasn't aware of it. So thanks for the info there. Appreciate it. All right, so we are now approximately 13 nautical miles, another 3 nautical miles, and we'll ask for descent. And yeah, 2 more, and then we'll begin our descent towards Guatemala. I really can't wait to do this approach, and yeah, it's going to be a first time into this region. Again, I'm exploring the world with you guys, and it's been quite fun. Just flying into new places. Unfortunately, AIG spawns aircraft at your altitude. Can you do a Boeing 747 Lufthansa Boston to Frankfurt, 8010 at Boston? Lufthansa Boston to Frankfurt, that's a very long flight. Thanks for flying to Guatemala. My absolute pleasure, Matthew. And thank you for being here, really. Alright, I think that's good. Let's go ahead and initiate the descent. So we're going to go to the menu here.
Request descent VOI211.
Delta 211, descend and maintain flight level 240.
Descend into flight level 240, VOI211.
Alright, 240 it is, and let's begin the descent. And this is the top of descent, so it was about, now we're good. So about 20 nautical miles to get to 24,000. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have begun the initial descent towards our destination. And ATC has cleared us to 24,000 feet. And from this point on, we're going to pay attention to the instruction given to us by ATC to assess the realism and the authenticity of those instructions. But based on the tests that I've done, it is actually very, very good. And we'll see what happens as we approach the mountainous area there in Guatemala as we come into land. Alright, so now you can see that we have a planned discontinuity because we still haven't been given the landing information. So
descend into 16,000 QNH 1022 VOI 211.
Right, 16,000. Let's take a look at the outside. What beautiful looking sight here of as we arrive into Guatemala. You can see the mountain range there. Looks very, very good. Alright, better put the terrain on ND there just to have more situational awareness of what's happening underneath. It's 8 hours, however, Boston to Zurich is 6 hours. Well, I really can't do, flights that are this long. Unfortunately, I do apologize for that. But those flights are extremely long, and I simply don't have the time to do it. So I do apologize for that. Alright, it looks like we require a little more drag. So we're going to extend the speed brakes here to reduce our speed. And hopefully we'll get the instructions for our arrival shortly from ATC. What a beautiful sight from the cockpit here. The transition altitude is 19,000 feet. So as soon as we hit 19,000, we'll go to 1022 as instructed by ATC. Right, and speed brakes are retracted. There's a wing view. What a beautiful looking scene here. Just lovely. Alright, so we are now 20,000. We're looking good. Speed is good. Everything is per design intent.
Descend into 10,000 QNH 1022 VOI 211.
Alright, we've been cleared for 10,000 now. And we are approaching the transition altitude, so we're going to go ahead and set this to 1022. And 1022 on the co-pilot side. Perfect. Man, this area looks fantastic, really. A few clouds there as we... let's take a look here at the METAR. So we have broken clouds at 2,000 scattered... 200 scattered at 2,000. And, or beg your pardon, that's 20,000, that's 2,000. 24, yeah, so some clouds in the vicinity here as we arrive into our destination. We're looking good. I'm going to extend the speed brake again just to make sure we maintain our current speed of 260 knots. Brilliant. You have a great scenery. Do you use NVIDIA filters? Nope, I use no NVIDIA filters whatsoever. Are you using a joystick such as Thrustmaster? For this flight, I am using the Thrustmaster Airbus joystick. Yes, sir. What steps, back going to Pro ATC SR, is the fact that it needs AIG running. You don't need AIG running. Takes ages to load. No, you don't need it. You don't need AIG traffic to be there. Unless you want AI traffic. But what you can do, if you have AIG already, so if you have installed AIG, you don't need the traffic controller. What you can do is you can go to
transition. Expect ILS Zulu approach, runway 02. Transition AURVOI211.
Alright, perfect. So we just received our clearance information and we're going to go and select our arrival. It's the ILS Zulu 02 and it's the AR transition, AAUR transition. So that's already entered there. So we're going to say enter, that's the AUR. And what we're going to do, we're going to clear the discontinuity and we're going to say insert. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have our approach set up here. If we go here, that's, you can see it. Once we are closer, you can see the turn here. So there's a turn back to the airport, which is going to be very interesting.
Descending to 9,500, VOI211.
9,500. Alright, there we go. What a beautiful scene here coming into the clouds. Looks fantastic. So what you can do if you don't want to load the AIG traffic controller, you can set the AI traffic in Microsoft Flight Simulator settings to maybe like 20-30%, and that will generate the AIG traffic models into the sim, and that way you don't need to have AIG traffic, the controller running, but you can also enjoy having AI traffic with proper models, and Pro ATC would interact with it.
119.3 VOI211. Approach control VOI211. Passing 9,500 VOI211. Expect ILS Zulu approach runway 02. Transition AUR. Expect ILS Zulu approach runway 02. Transition AUR VOI211.
Alright, so that is the clearance from ATC, and we are looking good. If we go here to performance page, and next page, yeah, all is looking good. Perfect. Alright. Thank you, Matthew. Let's hope that we butter this landing today. And as we get closer, I will also start the flight control replay so we can record our landing. There's one more thing I've noticed in when I fly in Central America is that I get blurred textures, and I'm not sure why, but that is the case, definitely. The cloud smoothing in Microsoft Flight Simulator is fantastic. We're going to expect some turbulence now. Better turn on the anti-icing. We're getting pretty close now to our destination. Some clouds there. I say needs a hey Steve, how are you doing, my friend? The SA speech SA, what is SA? Sorry, needs a major update. Do you use any weather add-ons? No, I'm not using any weather add-ons. All right, we're approaching 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and turn on the landing lights. Takeoff, runway turn off lights, wing lights, everything is on. Perfect. And now we are approaching 9,500, which is the altitude we've been cleared to by ATC. Now here, by the way, there are some mountains right ahead of us, and let's see what ATC does as we approach our destination. You can see the blurred textures there. Yeah, you see that? I'm not sure why I get it. All right, so we can fix this. Because we want a nice landing. So let me just fix this real quick. What we're going to do is turn this off. We're going to say apply, and it will apply the settings, and then we're going to turn it back on. It will be fine. I've done this in a previous flight. So yeah, definitely we want to see a nice approach into Guatemala. So I'm not sure why it does this. It only happens in Central America. I'm not sure why it does this. Very, very strange, but true. So it sometimes does it at the beginning of the flight, sometimes it does it at the very end. And now what you do is you turn this back on and you apply again, and it should be okay. I don't know if any of you guys had the same issue. Oh, South America, yeah. So South America, I've used a mesh for... I have the South America mesh from Orbex. A point of reference is a lake right before the final approach. Yes, I've seen this lake. I've studied the area a little bit for this flight. And I've looked at the charts as well, just to kind of understand how the approach is. All right, so we can go back to the sim now, resume, and here we go. Now we can't see anything because of the clouds. There you go. That's the airport. You see, that's actually the airport.
211, cleared ILS Zulu, approach runway 02. Transition. You are reduced speed to 185 knots. ILS Zulu approach, runway 02. Transition A, you are slowing down to 185. VOI 211.
How about that, guys? I mean, you know, we have been given the instruction to slow down to 185, which is very cool.
VOI 211, descend to 7,500. Descend into 7,500, VOI 211.
Alright. Speed check, flaps 1.
Approach American 1013, passing 14,500 for 9,000.
American 1013, identified, descend to 9,000.
Descending to 9,000. American 1013.
Alright, so the nice thing is, you've seen how ATC instructed us to reduce our speed, and that is something again missing in, for example, FS HUD. So now we're going to 7,500, and we've been instructed to reduce our speed to 185 knots, and it's quite cloudy, so the visual references are very difficult to see, but you can see in the display here, we can see this is the mountain ahead of us.
VOI 211, cleared direct to CF02, maintain present heading. Cleared VILA and VOR. Maintain present heading, VOI 211.
Alright. We're going to maintain the current
Tower,
heading.
VOI 211. On final, runway 02.
VOI 211. Reduce to final approach speed. QNH 1022. Clear to land, runway 02.
Final approach speed, QNH 1022. Clear to land, runway 02. VOI 211.
Alright. Very good. So, final approach speed. So, we're going to go to manage speed now. And that should take us to the final approach speed. And we're going to engage the approach. And just right before, that's the lake, and as you can see now, we've begun the turn.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
Speed check, flaps 2. Alright, let me just very quickly bring up the recorder. And we're going to record, let's call this, let's see. Let's call this MMUN. Alright, recording, perfect. Speed check, flaps 3. And gear is going down. Speed check, flaps full. What a beautiful approach into La Aurora International in Guatemala.
Say again. VOI 211.
VOI 211. Reduce to final approach speed. QNH 1022. Clear to land, runway 02.
Final approach speed, QNH 1022. Clear to land, runway 02. VOI 211.
I accidentally pressed the say again button, but that was a beautiful looking looking right, here we go, and that would be the turn. I think we're a little too high. Not sure why the GS isn't doing what it's supposed to do. Why the display's kind of acting funny here? Oh, we're way too high. Let me disconnect the autopilot. And my aircraft. Alright, we got it back on the glide slope. Almost. 10 knot wind, as I can feel the wind without a doubt. Wow, really strong wind.
Glide slope.
Sink rate.
Glide slope.
40. 40. 30. 20. Retard. Retard.
Whoa, 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 whoa. We made a mess out of that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Guatemala.
80 knots. VOI211. Gate is right. Contact ground on 121.9. 60 knots.
121.9. VOI211.
All right.
Ground VOI211 is cleared off the runway. Request taxi for parking.
Volaris 244. Taxi via Tango Bravo Alpha to Terminal 1 gate.
Via Tango Bravo Alpha to Terminal 1 gate VOI211.
All right, let's go ahead and call the pushback. Let's call GCX now to. Yes, indeed.
Extra care should be taken when opening the overhead business. Heavy articles may have shifted during our flight. On behalf of your entire
All right, let's go ahead and call GSX. And we want to go to the gate. Let's see here. Which gate we can go to? Small, they're all small gates here. That's all right. Let's go to gate 7. Let's say gate 10. And we're going to request the follow me. Let's see here. Alright, we can do the cleanup now, so we're going to retract our flaps, disarm the speed brakes, and we're going to go ahead and start the APU. That was a really challenging landing there. And let's start here. Strobes can go off. And no, runway we can leave. Landing lights off. And nose to taxi. We're just waiting for the Thank you very much, Error Chris. I appreciate it, my friend. Just waiting for the follow me truck to arrive as I am unfamiliar with the airport. 35 seconds. Where is it coming from? Can't see him. Says follow me has arrived, but oh, there he is. All right, parking brake released, and let's go.
Traffic, traffic.
Beautiful rendition of La Aurora International. And of course, guys, as is always the case, all the airports are available to you in chat command. So you can simply use exclamation ARR to get the link. Alright, what is this guy doing now? Alright, here we go. We'll just follow the pushback truck now, the follow me car to the gate. If I'm not mistaken, it has to be in small letters for ARR, so exclamation AR in small letters. There we go, that's our turn. And we should have a ground crew to guide us through the parking position here. You can see the marshaller is right there, standing up and giving us instructions to coming straight into the gate. Right, he wants us to go there a little bit. Alright. Let's set the parking brake. Parking brake is set. Let's turn on the APU bleed. And shut down the engines. And now you see the marshaller was signaling us to cut off the engines, and as soon as you do that, that wasn't a very good parking. That's what GSX has just told us, that the parking wasn't very good, but that's okay. So now, folks, we have the APU available, and we have also ground power available. So we're going to turn on the external power, and we are going to kill the beacon light. So wing lights can go off, taxi lights off, those lights are off, beacon is off. And we can also turn off the passenger seat belt. Oh, those were actually off. Okay, so everything here is good, and we can now you can see the guy here in the jetway. So we're going to call GSX here. Let's see. And we can now select, we can operate the jetway. Let's operate the jetway. Right, should bring the jetway to the aircraft. Doesn't seem like it's done anything. Maybe we're a bit too far from the position. So let's go back to GSX. And, oh, I think we need to, let's see, this is all off. So we can turn off the APU bleed. And request deboarding.
Boarding requested.
All right. Let's see what happens here. All right, so we have the, looks like it did not detect the gate for some reason. That's all right. And yeah, there you have it. Let's go ahead and, let's see here. All right, let's stop the recording. All right, everything is cool here. And if you guys want to watch the deboarding, we can definitely do that. Open, waiting for your action, open first left.
Passengers, the boarding started.
All right, so it looks like they're gonna exit and fly away to the, fly away. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and restart the, GCX, so we're going to say restart. Alright, so it takes everything off the aircraft, and we're going to close the door as well. So I'm going to come here and let's see here, because we want to do the replay. So dismiss, and let's go to ground services real quick, and we're going to remove the GPU, remove the chocks, close the door. We're going to close the cargo doors as well. Alright, all is good. And now let's go ahead and do the replay. So we are going to load. And what did we call this? Date modified. It's this one here. Open. Alright, and now we can see the plane. Alright, that's us right there. Doing some funny things there with the landing gear.
Say again. VOI211.
Volaris 211. Taxi via Tango Bravo Alpha to Terminal 1 Gate.
Via Tango.
Alright, so here's a replay of our landing. And we can cycle through the wing views now. What a beautiful approach into Guatemala. aircraft being on the turn, we took over to land the aircraft. What a beautiful sight of the approach into Guatemala, the Aurora International Airport. Just look at that view. Wonderful. That really does look very, very nice. Have you heard of PF3? A kid named Kenny. Welcome aboard, my friend. No, I haven't. PF3, I think I have. I think I have. I'm not sure. It does ring a bell. It does sound familiar, without a doubt. That's what happens when you do a replay, fortunately. What a beautiful approach. Guys, look at this beautiful approach into La Aurora International in Guatemala. Just absolutely fantastic looking scene here from the cockpit. Right, let's switch to external view, take a look at the landing. That was a very unstable landing there. We can bring this back one more time, and we'll do just one more replay with the wing view. Right. And there we go. Like that. What a beautiful approach, and what beautiful scenery as well. Yeah, the passengers were really scared after this landing. Alright folks, so there you have it. I mean, this is Pro ATC, and this is basically what Pro ATC can do. I think the software is, all in all, I think it's a pretty good add-on for Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I think it really does add that level of immersion to the flying experience. In comparison to FS HUD, I feel that it is a much better add-on, much more polished, and provides for a much better authentic experience in terms of ATC. The phraseology is pretty good, and you guys wanted to hear some voices, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch the program again, and I'm going to show you some of the voices, so again you guys can you know, get a feel for the different voices that ship with the product, and that way you'll be able to decide you know, if this is for you or not. Now, this is the main menu of Pro ATC, which you've seen in the beginning. You've got, this is our flight plan that we flew today, and if we go to, by the way, from the data menu, you can select the aircraft checklist here, as you can see, and you can add your own checklist, you can modify them. There is a lot of details that you can actually go into this program to customize it exactly to your experience. Out of the box, it does not have, you know, proper you know, checklist based on airline SOP. So they are pretty generic, but you can change them the way you like. You can duplicate the sets and edit them as well. You can add an item, edit an item, delete an item. You can move them up and down as you so wish. As you can see here, this, for example, before start checklist. This is the A320, and before start, start, after start, all that good stuff is there for you, and you can change it. So that's one thing you can do. By the way, you can select the Boeing, and you can select general aviation, although general aviation seems not to be supported at this point. Then also from the data you can do the actual aircraft. So these are all the aircraft available and will be detected basically by Pro ATC. You can also go to airlines, and from the airlines you can also add by country. You can look for all the airlines. You will find out that some airlines are not there. For example, I was surprised to see that Air Mexico is actually not there, but you can add it. You can add the airline, you can edit an airline, you can delete an airline. So again, it's very, very detailed in that respect. There's a lot that you can do with this add-on, very customizable, and works really, really well. And then, of course, also you have all your airports, so you can import an airport, you can look at the airport database, citizen start procedures, VOR, NDB intersections. You can import the latest ARAC database from Navigraph, so it fully supports Navigraph and fully integrates with SimBrief. This is user data, and then this is the authentic background ATC. If you click that, you can also find where there is, ATC, and you can assign different ATC to different regions if that's what you wish to do. And this is pretty much the data menu. Now, from the options is where a lot of the stuff that you guys were asking about is. And if you look at, for example, so you have the options in different tabs here. This is the actual application. So this is the basically the interface. Now, so you can change the interface. This is the in-flight, so flight and co-pilot support. This is what you want the co-pilot to do, and a lot of different options here. Manual descent initialization at TOD. So as you've seen in this stream, we have asked for the descent initialization, but this is something you can actually set in here to happen automatically. Plus, you can put other options here. You can change the keyboard controls. You can add a controller. This is for the controller. Check in with the controller, and you can assign different buttons to interact with the add-on the way you prefer. Flight plan folders, again, this is where you want the flight plans to go. Weather information you can download from NOAA METARs to determine live weather, and there's the download NOAA tabs for live weather forecast. Download VATSIM METARs. This is what we've used for this flight, is the VATSIM weather, or you can read the simulator weather up to 200 nautical mile distance only, therefore not recommended, because you will not get accurate assignment for your SIDS and stars when you are landing. Just actually the stars and landing runways will probably not be accurate, but so that's why they recommend that you do not use this option. Now here's the sounds, and you can set the volume of the sound. You can also change how the pronunciation happens of the airports, whether you want all alphabets or you want, for example, all phonic, Alpha Bravo Charlie, or 1 2 3 Alpha, alphabetic rest phonic. This is mainly for the stars, SIDS and stars. I'm going to leave this at the default. This is what works best and is the most realistic. And then speech recognition. This is where you can activate the speech engine, the speech recognition engine. You can do it here. And how do I joined late, but how does it handle AIG? It handles AIG in two ways. It can either you can either actually run AIG traffic controller, and it will generate traffic, or you can go to Microsoft Flight Simulator and increase the AI density, and that will generate some traffic. However, the second option will not generate traffic that is based on the current local airport. It will just randomly generate AI traffic. So you could be at, for example, London Heathrow, and you will see an aircraft from, I don't know, from Vietnam. I don't know if Vietnam lands there, but that's what's going to basically happen there. So that's the it's restarting the replay. All right, well, we're going to let it do what it wants to do, but let me bring up the there. All right, so so there are two ways you can do it. And hey, Carl Childers, welcome aboard, my friend. Don't worry about it, no issues whatsoever. Hey, what is your favorite livery on a plane? That would probably be my home country livery, Kuwait Airways. But I do absolutely love British Airways livery as well, the new one. All right, so this is basically from the options. We can now go to, this is speech recognition. This is where we stopped, and now we go to the voices. Now, this is where you guys are very interested in knowing what the voices are. We're going to go to configure controller voices. Now you can see all of these voices. All of these voices are available in the sim. There are a couple of here that are by default turned off. Mads, McGabby, and me, Nate. I'm not sure why those are disabled, but I never really turned them on. I left them. But let's go ahead and cancel this and go to configure pilot and co-pilot voices. Now, from the voices of the pilots, you can see there is a number of them here. But you can also select from this drop-down menu. Look at all of these are available. Now, some of these voices will not be available for the checklist. If you want to use the checklist in Pro ATC SR, those are not available for a checklist. There are a few of them available for a checklist, but let's go ahead and hear some of them. So we're going to hear first Pilot Alpha. This is the one.
Runway 14 right, cleared for takeoff.
All right, so that's the one we've heard. That sounds pretty much like an English pilot. And this is, for example, John. The default pilot sounds that, okay, that's fine.
Runway 29 left, clear for takeoff.
That's an Australian John, looks like. We can use, is this Miguel?
Runway 11 left, clear for takeoff.
All right, so there you go. Again, very, very realistic, very nice.
Runway 30 right, cleared for takeoff.
That sounds like an Arab person speaking. Let's see, for example, UK Danny. Let's check that one.
Runway 23 left, cleared for takeoff.
All right, and we can say US Bob 2.
Runway 20 right, cleared for takeoff.
All right, I think you guys get the idea. The sounds, the voices are very, very nice. They are very believable. And does this control the IG traffic? Yes, it does, sir. It does control the traffic. And then we can go to the co-pilot voice. So you can also configure the co-pilot. So there's Claudia from Germany.
APU, please.
All right, then we have new co-pilot.
MCP altitude set.
All right, new co-pilot 3.
Auto spoilers.
And we have Alpha 117.
Taxi clearance.
All right. So these are the voices. As you can see, again, the voices are very nice, very believable voices. And the program actually doesn't really cause any degradation in performance whatsoever. Great add-on to have. Needs a little bit of work, but overall, much, much better than FS HUD in my view. And definitely worth the money in my case, if that's what you like. You know, you don't want to do VATSIM, you don't want to do, you don't want to do Pilot Edge, and you want to stick to something that is automated, then definitely Pro ATC X really offers a very immersive experience in the sim, and I definitely do recommend it if you do not like flying online or you feel intimidated to fly online, then you can definitely use Pro ATC. Another thing that I'd like to say about Pro ATC SR is that it's got speech recognition. In fact, SR stands for speech recognition. And just so that the fact that I'm on a live stream and talking to you guys constantly, that's the reason I did not use SR in this live stream. But I will be doing a video, and I'm going in that video to showcase the speech recognition capability of Pro ATC. So stay tuned for that. And of course, stay tuned for more information on the upcoming stream into Ibiza or Ibiza, or however you want to pronounce it, the beautiful Spanish island, where I will be also giving away 2 copies of that airport by Einai Scene, a beautiful, beautiful and very detailed rendition of the beautiful Spanish island. So stay tuned for that, folks. That's pretty much for me. That's pretty much it for me today. I hope that you guys have enjoyed this stream as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you. It's been real fun. And if you have any questions, as usual, please do post them in the comments section below. Until next time, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe. Bye-bye for now.